Hi, it's Abby, and wanting to make a video, talk about something that's been on my mind, although sort of a risque sort of topic, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to talk about it or not, but I'll try. So I told myself that to approach this topic, it's about society. It's about how society influences us to behave in a way that is not aligned with what is most natural. When we are not aligned with what is most natural, then the unnatural becomes normal to us, and then because of our sort of humanness, we become attached to the unnatural, the unnatural normal world, and which is the world we live in today. We do not live in a natural world today. We are obsessed with contaminating the earth, contaminating our bodies, contaminating the water and the air, and continuing to neglect the reality that we actually need to let go and choose to align with a natural way of being again. And how do we do that? Who remembers what it is to be natural? What human being remembers a natural way of being? Literally, people who live in a natural landscape that has been untouched by others on this planet, those human beings are aligned with what has been their traditional culture for extremely long time. So to them, that is a very natural way of being. And so I obviously live in mainstream society, and I live in a city, and I drive a car, and I shop at Walmart, and I eat at McDonald's sometimes, and so I am very much aligned with a very unnatural way of existing. And so okay, I'm gonna need the spirit world to help me, because it's very uncomfortable conversation to have. Like for me, I just made the video about sort of my personal experiences with depression, and that was a very difficult topic to talk about because I don't like people knowing that about me, but I need that is something that I need to talk about, and that is good, and for others to have that awareness about me. One thing that I over time have sort of developed this lack of connection with other spiritual speakers, because they don't really showcase the challenges they've been through. So I don't really, I sort of had this disgruntled sort of feeling about people who just sort of like, the fairy godmother came and tapped them on the head, and then they started seeing angels. It's like, oh wow, I'm so happy for you. I'm like so happy for you. I've actually traveled a nightmare to be able to get to a point where I can be this spiritual person, and it has been very difficult, and it has been a treacherous nightmare, and it has not been easy to become this person who's on this video right now. And nothing came easy for me, and my soul demanded it to be this way, no matter how much my human form begged for change. The spirit world had to honor my contract, had to honor my agreement, and so that way I could be who I am, and I can speak to you and tell you that I relate to the challenges you're enduring, because I too have been through many challenges in the darkness of the abyss. So okay, so what alright, I'm a spiritual speaker, so that means I'm going to be speaking with the spirit world and drinking some water. So you don't know this, but I sat down and I was contemplating making this video all day, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it, and then I sat down and just sort of turned the turn the app on or whatever, and just couldn't record it. So I just sat here for like 15 minutes. It's like trying to convince myself to push record, and I was like, I can't do it. So then I went and got some chocolate chip cookies and a glass of milk, and for some reason that seemed to help. It's like comfort food, It's sort of, okay, so my soul has this strange insistence on it, like, it doesn't care what Abby, how Abby feels, it just cares about what soul's needs are. And my soul has this, like, sort of need to not follow the rules of society, and it sort of rejects society. And due to that, then I suffer in this world because I choose not to follow the rules or choose to fit in exactly. And now my soul is at it again, and it's demanding that I alter a behavior that is extremely normal for any girl in a mainstream society. And it's been very disturbing and bothersome to me, and sort of came about in December. And now I was just sort of like inflicted by it. Like, I can't alter. The soul is too much for the body. So, okay, this is me attempting to spit out what it is. This is nothing to do. I've been talking about a bad thing that happened to me this summer. This is not that. This is completely something different. But it is confusing to me. But, okay, so I'm asking the spirit world to help me talk about this. I will get this out. Just a second. I swear to God, I will get this out. Okay, spirit. So I'm like asking them to help me relax and have confidence to share this just ridiculous thing that I'm insisting on doing. Because it makes me feel like I'm a circus freak, and I don't like it. Okay, so I made a video where I had talked about just talking about sort of things and what it is to be sort of a woman in today's society, and how it is completely an unnatural existence as a woman, and it is actually what influences women to have so many issues with their physical, just acceptance of their physical body, and that actually creates difficulties in even sexual relationships, because when a woman has no confidence or feels ugly or feels like she's inappropriate or unacceptable, then she cannot literally give you her flower, like give up her flower, and so she becomes closed and internalizes everything. And a woman has this sort of natural emotional way of being, and that has to be open and expressed openly, and then she has to feel like the man is sort of embracing that. And so society tells a woman that she literally has to be a Barbie. She has to be a plastic, she has to be what is a perfection. And I know this isn't true, but realistically, let's be real here. What is on radio? What is all over television? Have you seen, I mean, it's weird, like you watch a movie that was made in the 70s or something, and like people actually look like normal people, and then you watch some TV and like you see movies of today, and people are like so glamorous and so beautiful. Like all the characters have their own sort of unique sort of essence of beauty. Even the nerdy ones like are still attractive. And so there's no real, you don't really see the real reality on television. You don't really hear the real reality in music, like popular music. It's just really showcasing a very unnatural sort of world. Like, we don't look at the flowers and we don't say, ew, that flower's ugly. No, we actually just appreciate the beauty that is contained in each one. And each flower is different. Each tree is different. Each blade of grass is its own unique reflection, and we don't say ew. You may look at a cockroach and say ew, and then you may look at a ladybug and say, oh, cute. But still, in the universe, you need cockroaches, you need ladybugs, you need butterflies, you need flies. They call them French flies. They just do, but flies, they're annoying. They're French flies. They're not because I have anything against French people. They just because it's funny, like French fry. It's a play on words. Hello, it's like so funny, like hilarious. But we need them. We need all the insects. We need all of the flowers. We need all the weeds. We need everything. We need it all. And women need to be they need to know that they are beautiful as they are as a creation. Women do, and that is not what is promoted in today's society. That is not what is promoted. What is promoted is women have to. I'm not like, this is not Abby. I'm not a feminist. I'm not a women's rights or whatever. I'm actually just talking about what it is to be a natural organism in a universe. I'm literally talking about what it is to be a natural woman in the universe. I, as a female, have a relationship with being a female, and that is what I'm talking about. I'm going to talk about some things that are very inappropriate for like normal conversation. But I'm just going to talk about it because it's been sort of like clogging my brain, and if I don't plunge it and get it out, it's going to like destroy me, and so I have to talk about it. So basically, you know, women have to be, they have to have, their hair has to be perfect, the color it cannot go gray. Women are obsessed with their face not wrinkling or aging, and women are obsessed with having perfect breasts and a perfect body, and you know, there's this obsession with sort of exercising or working out, and it's not actually, it's not promoted, it's promoted as this is healthy, but it's actually kind of a psychotic like alignment with you need to look like a glamorous movie star to be appropriate in this society now, and it's kind of disgusting. It really freaks me out the way people are obsessed with sort of gyms these days. It's not really a natural, it's not to go to the gym to actually enjoy breathing and inhaling oxygen and feeling your heartbeat and actually enjoying your body sweating or any of the actual experience of the physicalness of what you are doing. It is actually with a mental goal to be physically perfect. It's not with the actual sort of just the joy of actually breathing, the joy of actually feeling your body pumping blood and feeling that sort of healthy, vibrant sensation that working out gives you. It isn't related to that. And okay, so all right, I'm going to ask the spirit world. So okay, so they're showing me images of what has been disturbing me, and it has disturbed me, they say, for a very long time, and I've sort of gone with it because that is what society tells you to do. Society tells you that you have to be like everybody else to fit in, and if you do not fit in, then you are unacceptable. And so society tells women that you have to shave all of your body hair, and you have to be appropriate. You have to be like an infant. Literally, you have the body of an infant without any hair on it, only on your head. And I find that to be a very disturbing sort of thing and very confusing. And my soul, which naturally sort of overrides my physical body, it refused to allow me to do any sort of shaving. So I've been like turning into a natural like woman. Like it's kind of freaky, and it's not an appropriate thing to talk about, but I'm talking about it because I'm like showcasing the importance of what is being natural. I'm showcasing the importance of, it is so important that we acknowledge, perceive, understand, accept what is natural as a creation. I am a natural creation. As a natural creation, what do I look like? I don't have a freaking clue what I look like as a natural creation. I'm actually choosing to find out what I look like as a natural creation. That is not a disgusting thing. That is not an ugly thing. It is not a inappropriate thing. And yet, I don't have a freaking clue what I'm going to do this summer, because I don't want to go out in public like being a hairy woman. I don't want to. But I can't seem to override this, and so I don't know what I'm going to do. I had like a friend, my children's friend was over, and he must have noticed, because he kept giving me these odd looks, and I was just like, you know, whatever. I don't know why I'm doing this, dang it. And now I have to be like a circus freak just to promote what it is to be natural. Like that is what I have to do. And so I'm just telling you this. And the spirit world is that this is like very extremely even more so inappropriate discussion, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. And the spirit, so he's talking about female body parts, and this is not, I talk to Spirit World about everything. I actually download information all the time on all kinds of topics, and one of them is like the female body is like a huge one because it is so repressed in today's world, and the obsession is, men have this obsession with, you know, they love the female body, men love the female body, like, that is their sort of birthright, is as a man to just sort of like find the female form to be so alluring, so like gorgeous, so women try to try to align with the men's needs in today's society to see what is a perfect woman, a physically perfect woman. And so women then become obsessed with being that for a man, and as a means to be good enough for a man. And so you see the psychology. This is so screwed up. This is so wrong. This is not correct. And then actually, so anyway, so I've visited, where men hang out, and it's usually covered in like some sort of images of what naked vaginas look like, and they never have hair on them, and I find this to be so strange to me, like this obsession with a hairless sort of female body part. And obviously you can see the detail, and again, it is about the visual and the physical. It isn't about the experience of what is most natural. And so men sort of find that to be like the most delightful sort of expression that a woman could have. And so the spirit world is, I've been talking to the spirit world about this, because I've been sort of how do we create a society that actually embraces what is natural again? Because men really do find that to be the most beautiful thing, and or like maybe a majority. I see this is like very common. Like it is very natural that that is sort of everywhere. Like that every girl seems to know this too. That is better to not have any hair than it is to have hair. Like that is how you give that gift to your man. So I was the spirit world was sort of talking about this, and people don't perceive the female body as literally its own sort of plant, and the female sexual organ is literally its own flower, and the most natural state of the flower is to have hair on it for a reason. And they were showing me that actually this is like so hard for me to talk about, because it's like slightly embarrassing. I'm a female, I'm talking about this in a society. This is very difficult. This is very hard to talk about, but I'm going to talk about it because that's what I do. I have to be the circus freak for everybody else to learn how to be freaking natural and normal, and to even start thinking about it. All I'm asking is for you to just think about it. Just think about it, and ask yourself why. Ask yourself why the world is this way today. You don't have. I'm not asking you to change any of your behaviors or see. Just think about it being different. All right, and so they show me that a man actually does not. So when the vagina literally does not have hair on it, now it is sort of exposed as exactly the physical, exactly what the physical form is, and it is sort of an expression of the unnatural world that we live in, and it is an expression of what is fake breasts, what are fake butts, literally, what is this obsession with what is perfection, and the actual sexual experience that is had between what is a woman who shaves all of her hair off and then a man who sort of delights in that it is far more physical. It loses the spiritualness. It completely loses the spiritualness. And actually say whatever you want, but the spirit world says this is the case. So whatever you say, I don't care. This is what the spirit world tells me. The spirit world tells me that so a woman who is natural, the natural layer of where hair is actually teaches a man how to properly pleasure a woman, and because you don't want hair in your mouth, like you don't, and so you learn how to override that by doing certain things, and so hair is actually extremely important on the female vagina to teach and train you how to correctly sort of pleasure it, and so that is when you align with the spiritual, the reflection of a spiritual connectedness, and that, so they show me what are roses, or what are, roses have thorns. Nobody wants thorns, but that is their natural expression. They show me what are, weeds that have sort of like fine hair follicles, And, you know, why aren't we shaving those off? Like, because that would just be appropriate, wouldn't it? To just shave off the little hair follicles on the plants. Like, that is what we are doing to our bodies as women. We're choosing to remove what is a natural part of our form. And that is so, that it disturbs the force, literally is disturbing the force of our expressions, and it is continuing to lock us into a state of misery. We don't realize how miserable we actually are by doing this. And so let me see what else that they say. This, they're saying that they're telling me, so I've had this on my mind for a while, and this has been very, like, it's sort of like, if I can't talk about this, I'm gonna lose my mind. And they're showing me the monumental importance that I, Abby, have chosen to have this discussion, because not only is that was this a test of strength related to my humanness, to see if I could overcome my humanness to have this conversation with others. It is also the strength of my soul to be able to choose to be different and almost be sort of a freak of society that will sort of capture people's attention, and people will say ew towards me, but I will say fuck you and whatever, because that's the way I am. Actually, they say I won't say that. They say that I will feel that way inside, but actually I will glow and remind people of what it is to be natural. Natural, even though there will be a twinge of severe anger and hatred inside me towards human beings who want to behave and react so childishly. That is exactly what they say, that I will not say that to people. I will just keep it inside, and then I will do the right thing, because that is what my soul does, and it will remind people of what it is to be natural. And so let me see here. They say that I made a choice, literally, to I've been battling myself with this for weeks now, and finally just gave up and just said, all right, I guess I'll just throw my hands in the air and just continue with this, and we'll just see what happens. You know, I don't have to stay like this. I can change, you know. I just choose to not be this way. Okay, so they're reminding me of something I wanted to tell you about. I'm just going to tell you about this really quickly. So, I don't know if I've really talked about this subject well enough, clearly enough, because it is so awkward to talk about. But if I don't talk about it, I don't know. I just have to talk about it. I mean, whatever. And so, so they remind me. So I was going to tell you about this past life. And this past life has been on my mind for a while, especially related to what I'm going through right now. And in this past life, I was a reject of society. I had a very concerning skin condition, and people had feared that I was contaminated with something that would they would become contaminated with it, that it would spread across the whole village. You know, they didn't know what it was, what was wrong with me, but I literally, the skin condition was enough that I was like a freak. And I don't have any relatives or family members. I don't know the relationship with that, but I lived in basically apart from society. I was a reject. So I lived alone as a female, alone in the woods, or away from society, and so I lived there alone, and everybody knew about me, and I mean, you know. And so anyway, in that life, who knows why, but some man sort of came around and then raped me, and even with this freaky skin condition, I guess he was really in the mood, but that impregnated me, and so sort of like that nightmare turned into a blessing, because I had a companion then in my life where I had none, and so I raised my daughter, who eventually then, as she got older, developed this skin condition as well. So we both had the skin condition. And it was enough that the townspeople were so terrified of this, now, my daughter having this, that they were certain that we would contaminate the whole village, like that this skin condition, it does spread. People didn't really have the awareness that it was just a strange genetic thing. And so basically the townspeople, out of fear, killed us, killed myself, and killed our child. They took the child away, and then they murdered me and the child. And so you can see here that I in another lifetime have been a reject. And so here in this lifetime, I think I physically am appropriate or like acceptable enough. And so for me to make this decision then is sort of aligning me somehow with, I'm like, you know what, in that lifetime I endured so much suffering and such a nightmare of loneliness, and to be such a reject of society, that it is nothing for me to actually choose to do this. Like, it is absolutely nothing for me to choose to be a natural woman. Like, what I don't even know what a natural woman looks like. I've not been a natural woman ever my whole life. I don't, since I was 10, your mother shows you what to do, and then that is what you do, and then that is what you become aligned with. That is what you know, that is appropriate, that is the way society is, that's what society wants. And so since then, I've not known, I don't know, I have no idea. So I'm finding out. And it is nothing in comparison then to that lifetime where I suffered profoundly with a skin condition that I could not remove. And so this is sort of, this is all combined. This is all a conversational topic. This is all just a discussion. Let me see what, spirit, so, okay, so I see, I'm just going to tell you the images the spirit world is sharing with me. Like, this is very hard for me. I hope you know this. This is me literally showcasing myself as being like superiorly doing something that is superiorly inappropriate in society. And it's not even that big of a deal. Like, it really isn't. But it is at the same time, because people don't know how to tolerate. People don't know how to understand that. Okay, so they show me what is the manipulator. And the manipulator is the lizard, and the lizard is aligned. I don't talk about lizard beings very often. I don't talk about Draconian race very often. I don't talk about that because I don't care. They get enough attention as it is, that without us even realizing that they exist. It's like showcasing evil spirits and people hunting ghosts and all that stuff. Like, really, let's waste more of our time like giving more to evil spirits. They already get enough on our planet. Like, why don't we really explore angels and try to really showcase the loving spirits? Like, it's just it literally has a lot to do with. It's much easier to find the evil spirits here than it is to raise the frequency to get to the superior awesome spirits. And because we are so low on the totem pole, that we are really easy to connect with what is the lesser value, like the value that is not inspiring love, that is easier for us to connect with in our world. And Spirit's saying that's not true. They say that it is easy for us to connect with angels more than we know, and even to capture an angel on camera would actually be easy. They're saying to me that the reason why it is so easy for us to connect with evil spirits is because we actually choose to look for them instead of look for the angels. That's what they're saying right now. They're saying that that is important that you know that is true, that we actually can perceive and see and experience angels as frequently as we would see or try to capture it. It is what society wants. They're saying again that is the lizard, that is the lizard mentality, the lizard influence is what they're saying. The influence, and that they want to deceive, they want us to be deceived, and they deceive us by doing, by sort of spoon feeding us what are our vulnerabilities. And our vulnerabilities are physical, what we see is the physical beauty, and vulnerabilities of the ego, which is power. And they're sort of like, okay, let me see what else they have to say here. They're saying that they're showing me this lizard man for a reason, this specific one. I'm going to avert my attention downward. I don't know where this is going, so we'll just see what happens. I didn't know. I was just talking about society and female body and female sexual organ and plants, and now I'm talking about lizards. So we'll see what they have to say. Sort of, like, scared, uncomfortable. It's not like the lizard beings that make it. I really feel like, obviously there's a relationship I have with this image that disturbs me, and it's creating like a very just disturbing sort of sensation. And so, okay, so I'll describe exactly. He's absolutely like what is a lizard man, but his scales are more like thicker, heavier, more like an alligator has thicker scales in comparison to what would be like a lizard in the desert or something. So the thicker, heavier scales, and he doesn't have a snout like an alligator. He's more of a facial like we are in the face. And there's many different appearances of the lizard beings. There really are. There's as many different appearances of lizard beings as there are appearances of lizard beings on the earth, and then some. There's so many versions of them. And some of them do have long snouts, some of them don't. Some of them literally have what is like a triangle sort of mouth. Some of them have more like a face like we have, let's see here, let me look at him some more. I'm saying this is very important that I talk about this right now, and I'm not acknowledged, so there's a strange wave of color that I'm seeing with him, and it literally is all the colors of the rainbow, and he is standing sort of in them, and they're so light that they could almost be, they're translucent, these rainbow colors are. They're saying that is the deception of the illusion, that he is able to emit colors that project other forms of images, and that we do not see the lizards, we see the projection of, they have this sort of connection with rainbow, and it creates the illusionary form that we perceive as the correct, so reptilian shapeshifter. It would be like me, and then I'm actually a lizard being, and underneath this appearance is the real appearance. I would actually be a lizard, not a human being. I would be a lizard being, and then the projection is this face, which is tangible and everything. I've been lizard beings in other lifetimes. I've been reptilian shapeshifters in other lifetimes. I've lived on this planet as a normal human being, as a reptilian shapeshifter, and I had no freaking clue that I was a lizard being until some random event took place, and it showed me my true identity, and the terror and nightmare of that experience is, you can't imagine it. So there are human beings on this planet that have absolutely no idea that they are lizard beings when they truly are lizard beings. So Spirit World is telling me that I do know why this has happened. Although I don't explore it, and I don't, okay, what is this? I'm telling the Spirit World, what does this have to do with my conversation about this? I just want this to be related to this. Okay, so they're showing me that it is the illusion that we are creating. We are much like Draconian race by choosing to align with the illusion that of what beauty is what they're saying. That we are aligning with the illusion that beauty is physical perfection, and we are negating that beauty is actually the spiritual expression. That is, and we would actually be able to see the beauty of spirit within each and every form when we choose to let go of this obsession with perfection of the physical form. And that was part of the programming that was spoon-fed to us through literally, this is what the feeling is. It was like superior, beautiful women came to this earth, but they were actually lizards, and they showed men what real beauty looks like. Real beauty, although they were actually freaking just terrifying monsters underneath, and sort of stimulated this need to see the perfection and beauty of that caliber in other women. They're saying this did happen on this planet. that this really did happen on this planet. Superior, beautiful women coming to this planet, but they were actually lizards, and created a manipulation wave that altered the perception of beauty, and spoon-fed us into believing that that beauty is not what is natural, and it is something that so in today's world, in modern society, we have technology now where we can have breast implants and all this other crap. It is just garbage. We are putting garbage in our bodies, and we're calling that beauty. That is not beauty at all. See here. They're telling me there's so much more to this conversation, and I'm not, my humanness is really wanting to turn off right now, and so they're asking me if I want to turn this video off or if I want to keep talking. I don't know what else you could possibly want to share about this. You say there's so much more to share about this, and you know that. So let's just. I'm just gonna stay with it for a little bit longer, and then I'm not actually so exhausted from this. They're showing me, okay, so the rainbow illusion is getting really bright, and the lizard being is behind the wall of the rainbow. And before it was actually quite see-through, but now it is becoming so much brighter. And actually, the brightness is sort of like a lovely sort of feeling. It has a very lovely feeling to it. That is the manipulation, the energy of the manipulation. They say is this rainbow that they submit. It literally is like. Okay, so this is the only way I'm going to be able to describe this, and this is sort of me just telling you like an idea, okay? It would be like all of us human beings not realizing we are standing before a lizard being, and it is literally projecting rainbow colors upon us, and we feel sort of a peaceful, sort of joyful sensation from that, and that is the manipulation energy that they use, and we feed off of the rainbow. We literally do, but the rainbow is contaminated with illness, and the illness is the idea that we are not good enough as we were as a creation. It is lying to us. The rainbow is contaminated with what are lies, literally. And they're telling me that is exactly the correct way of describing this. Okay, so what then does that have to do? So how do we override the rainbow then? I'm just asking them. What are we? They're telling me that only love, only pure, and that is what I'm doing. I'm overriding the rainbow. They say when I choose to be a natural woman, I'm choosing to override the rainbow. I am choosing to help human beings remember what is natural and override the rainbow, and that is actually me choosing what is a natural expression of love. And only the most natural expressions of love help us override this contaminated lie rainbows. The rainbow literally is extremely amazing feeling, and it is contaminated with an infection that is completely lying to us. But it is extremely sort of has a delicious flavor to it. They said I've known this for a very long time, and I've been well aware of society's malfunction. I just haven't known how to feel strong enough or able to stand before a crowd and be who I am and show that, and that my life is aligning in a way that I am going to become much more powerful as a speaker, and just as as sort of like a just somebody who showcases and reminds the world what natural looks like, and not to fear that. That is going to be very intolerant to some and very welcoming to others. And there are those human beings on the planet who are extremely open and welcoming to a change here, a superior and monumental change. That is why people are looking for information on a human awakening. Human awakening is literally choosing to override the rainbow. Human awakening is choosing to be natural, to do it differently, to align with love and a natural way of being. And they say that nature is the one place where you can always find the truth. Nature always is the expression of the truth, because nature does not get, nature is not it is his natural expression all the time, and it always will teach you about being a natural human being, even if you allow it to. Nature has more to offer than we can possibly imagine, and we're destroying it. We're killing it. We are killing nature, which is our key, and unlocking the truth and the wisdom and the naturalness. And it's we can't do this. Like, we really can't. We have to stop. We have to choose to stop. I mean, when I think about how we are harming nature, that BP incident and the oil spill, that still is a sort of has contaminated my heart and my soul with that memory. How months and months have passed, and nobody has done anything but argued about it, and nobody is literally. People were hung back in the day, right then and there, for doing something that is so terrible. They just get put up there and hung and killed. Then today, we just let these rich people just get away with whatever they want to, and that's okay. It was an accident. Well, no, literally, that accident contaminated the ocean and contaminated it for months while people were arguing and trying to decide what to do about it. Like, I'm sure there's going to be some story, I explored this only so much as it was echoing through the television. It's just like 9/11, it was echoing through the television, and now here we are, and so many of us feel like it was a conspiracy theory. Well, hello, it was a conspiracy theory. If you feel like it was a conspiracy theory, well, hello, it was a conspiracy theory. I mean, this BP incident is more than we know, and okay, I gotta pause for a minute and just see what else I'm going to be showing here. So women actually are enslaved, and they say that when women become strong, so me, I'm actually choosing to be a strong woman, and they say that when women choose to become one in their own, that is when the whole world changes. Women actually change the world, because men sort of like the identity of what is man and the identity of what is woman. When women become sort of strong and sort of the stronger force of aligned with their sexuality, aligned with their body, aligned with their natural expression, then suddenly the world heals. That is literally what they say. That I am doing this to help women become strong again, and to choose to heal the world by choosing to be their natural expression. And that's what they say. They say that I am a very strong woman for doing this, and that I do not give myself enough credit. None of us give ourselves enough credit. None of us do. It's just, I have to deal with every single day here. I have to deal with people, and I've always not really fit in, and so I'm not, that's part of my human experience, it is what it is. They're saying that I am aligning more and more with what is a strong female expression, and that voice does get heard through YouTube, and will continue to get heard, and inspire men and women to see it differently, they say. And that it was very important that I chose not to give up on this video and to actually share about that draconian image, because human beings really want to know what is going on here, and I do actually know what is going on here, but I don't. They're saying I need to actually choose to share the wisdom, and I've been choosing not to. And so it's time, literally, for me to start making videos to talk about the truth and help people know that, because people need to know the truth. People need to know what has happened here. People need to know why it is the way it is, and people need to know who's responsible for it. Human beings need to have a finger point. I'm like a super huge into just, let's just let it go. It's over now. Let's just choose love, because love is what heals. But we're all at different stages of understanding and different needs, and so the needs of some actually human beings need to have this awareness. Human beings actually do, and they deserve. The spirit world says human beings deserve to know the truth, and that it is something that I need to choose to do. So okay, so that is that is my video. I'm gonna just say that's good. So I've talked about, just to recap, talked about society and talked about the female body, talked about my soul and what has been forcing me to sort of, as a human being, to accept a change in the way I'm going to be and the way I'm going to express myself, and sort of my fears and my challenges with that, and then sort of allowing Spirit to share some more wisdom about the female body and the hairlessness and sort of the female sexual organs and the importance of everything being natural and natural expression. And then just recapping for myself and then I guess for the viewer, but I sort of need to do this. So then I talk about the lizard beings and what the existence is here, and how we override that, how we make it different, and how we change, and how we fight back. Basically, we fight back by choosing to do it differently. We fight back by choosing to align with what is natural, and we need to look to the earth to literally to help us remember what is to be natural, and that being natural is the most beautiful expression we could possibly be, and there's nothing less than that. To be your most natural expression is the most beautiful expression you could possibly be. The rose does not try to create more rose petals or try to create different colored, extensions on it. It doesn't paint its, leaves, or it doesn't dye its stem, and it doesn't implant sort of different parts to make it more vibrant or anything. A rose is still as beautiful as a rose is beautiful in its most natural expression. And it doesn't choose to be anything but itself, and that is what human beings need to be, is ourselves. So that is all for this video, and don't really know how it will be received, but thank you for watching.